Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are heading to the front lines. But I'm not talking about, trenches or tanks. I'm talking about the sartorial battlefield of 1880s New York.
The best kind of battlefield.
Exactly. We are looking at the Gilded Age, and we're going to unpack how the show uses silk, velvet, and feathers as well as weapons.
It's such a fascinating angle. People watch these shows for the romance, the big mansions, but in the Gilded Age, the costumes are doing just as much work as the script.
Oh, for sure.
They're not just decoration, they're pure narration. You turn the sound off, and you'd still know exactly who's winning and who's losing just by looking at the dresses.
100%. And we've got a huge stack of notes here, looking at the top 15 costume looks from the first 3 seasons. We're going to try and decode the genius of the costume designer, Kasia Walicka-Maimone.
And the scale of her work is it's mind-boggling.
Right. I read that for season 1 alone, she designed something like 5,000 individual pieces.
5,000? That's staggering. It's not a wardrobe department at that point.
It's a factory.
It's an entire industry.
Right.
And she was working with makers all across the U.S. and Europe just to get the corsets right, the trim right.
It's a huge operation.
And I think it's important, before we jump into the specific looks, to understand her whole philosophy. She's balancing history with drama.
Oh?
She references real paintings. You're going to mention John Singer Sargent a lot today. But she's not trying to create, like, a dry museum exhibit.
Right. It has to feel alive.
Exactly. She wants the 1880s to feel as vibrant and electric to us now as it felt to the people living in it. She kind of pumps up the color to match the character's psychology.
So she's turning the volume up to 11.
Precisely. It's a historical respect mixed with pure modern drama.
Okay, let's get into it. And we have to start with the general herself, the woman who uses fashion like a battering ram.
Bertha Russell.
Bertha Russell.
It's the only place to start. She doesn't just dress to look good, she dresses to win. Every single outfit is a strategy.
And nothing says, I'm here, get used to it, like that crimson opera dress from season 1. The one she wears to the Academy of Music. It's this deep red satin off the shoulder, and then she has this incredibly dramatic velvet cloak with all this jet beading.
And what's so funny about that look is what the designer herself said about it. Walicka-Maimone called it restrained for Bertha.
Restrained! It's bright red. She looks like a walking stop sign in a sea of beige dresses.
Exactly. And that's the whole point. In Bertha's mind, she is dialing it back. She chose a classic shape, something she thought was elegant. But to the old guard, that specific shade of red is just screaming for attention.
So she's trying to fit in, but she just can't.
Her ambition is too loud. She can't help but stand out, even when she's trying not to.
It's like she can't suppress her own power. But okay, if we want to talk about not being subtle, we have to talk about the peacock moment.
Oh, this is iconic. This is where the gloves really come off.
This is from season 1. Bertha's in this teal blue silk gown, and it is just covered, completely covered in iridescent peacock feather embroidery.
And the hat with actual towering peacock feathers on it.
Right. The hat.
And the context here is everything. She wears this to a charity bazaar where she has been very publicly snubbed. The doors were slammed in her face.
So instead of just going home, she decides to literally peacock.
She's reclaiming the whole narrative. It's flamboyant ambition. A peacock displays its feathers to dominate a space, and that is exactly what Bertha is doing.
You can't ignore her.
You cannot ignore her. The symbolism isn't subtle, and that is the point. She's saying, you can exclude me, but I will take up all the visual oxygen in this room.
I love that. But for me, the absolute peak Bertha moment, her coronation, really, is the ball gown from the season 1 finale.
A black and white one.
Yes, the ivory silk ball gown. It is enormous. It's white satin with these high contrast black velvet leaves, and the train.
The train is its own character.
It's so long she needs people to help her move.
And that's the power move, isn't it? It physically forces people to make way for her. The dress was actually inspired by a House of Worth couture gown from, 1898.
So a little bit ahead of the show's timeline.
Just a little, which is perfect for Bertha. She is the future. But think about the color. White is for debutantes, for innocence.
Right.
Bertha wears white to her own ball to announce, I am the new queen. It's a coronation robe. That stark black against the white makes her impossible to miss.
It's a visual mic drop. Oh, and before we move on from Bertha, I have to mention one thing I found hilarious. The garnet velvet dinner gown.
The one with the gold lace collar that stands up?
Yes, it frames her face like a queen.
Very regal, almost like an Elizabethan ruff.
Well, it turns out that structured velvet was also helping to hide the fact that the actress, Carrie Coon, was pregnant during filming.
Huh? See, that is the magic of costume design, solving a real-world problem while telling a story. But that collar, narratively, frames her face like a portrait. She never takes a day off from being Mrs. Russell.
Never. And then in season 2, we see her shift a bit for Newport. The nautical blue and white outfit.
The Newport look, yeah. Even at a resort, she's still using bold contrast. Navy on ivory. It's crisp, it's sharp. It shows she can play by the resort rules, but she's still playing to win.
Okay, so Bertha is all about being new, shiny, loud. But she's up against the old guard.
Right.
We have to talk about the contrast with someone like Mrs. Astor.
It's night and day. If Bertha's bright, shiny new gold, Mrs. Astor is old, burnished gold.
Let's look at her gilded gold ball gown from that same finale.
The fabric is everything there. It's heavy, it's brocade, it has this upholstery vibe, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, I get it. It implies permanence, weight.
Exactly. It looks like it's been there forever and can't be moved, which is the whole point. The fabric is matte. It absorbs light instead of reflecting it like Bertha's does.
She doesn't need to scream, "Look at me."
Her clothes say, "I know you're looking and I expect you to bow." She is the foundation of the house. Bertha is trying to break in.
That is a terrifyingly good distinction. But there's a third type of woman in this world, right? The outcast.
Ah, yes, Mrs. Chamberlain.
I was so drawn to her midnight black gown in season 1. She's a pariah. But she wears this jet black onyx silk with black feathers. It's so architectural.
It's brilliant because she's playing with the language of mourning. In that era, full black meant you were a widow, withdrawn from society.
But she flips it.
She flips it completely.
That's
She acknowledges that she's dead to their society, but she makes it unbelievably chic. It's bohemian, it's high fashion, it's modeled after Arabella Huntington, a real art collector.
So she's not asking to be let in.
She's building her own world, a world of art and culture, and saying she's opted out of their petty games.
Let's shift to the next generation, because if the older women are fighting a war, the younger ones are, well, they're the pawns.
They're caught in the crossfire for sure.
And you see that so clearly with Marianne Brooke. Her big moment in the season 1 finale is that celadon green ball gown.
A beautiful piece. And it's a direct recreation of a John Singer Sargent painting, Madame Paul Porson.
The color is so soft. It's this pale, almost frosty blue-green with little pink blossoms on it.
And that's the key. Compare it to Bertha's sharp contrasts or Mrs. Astor's heavy gold. Marianne's in pastels. It's optimism. It's youth. She hasn't been hardened by this world yet. She's the ingenue.
But then you have Gladys Russell, Bertha's daughter, and her costume journey is kind of heartbreaking.
It really is. It's a story of a girl being turned into a product.
It starts in season 1 with her lavender debutante dress. It's all tulle and lilac flowers. It's a fairy tale.
And that was her moment of hope, right? Lavender is a soft, hopeful color. She thinks her debut means she'll finally have freedom.
But then you fast forward to season 3, the white portrait gown.
The one she's painted in. It's based on a Boldini portrait. She looks angelic, all luminous white with a sage green sash. But she's being marketed. She's being packaged as a dollar princess.
Can we just pause on that term? What does dollar princess actually mean?
It was a very real thing. Wealthy American heiresses, new money, were married off to cash-poor European aristocrats. The family's got a title, and the aristocrats got the money to, fix the castle roof.
So Gladys looks beautiful, but she's essentially being sold.
She's on display like a prize heifer at a state fair.
Which brings us to the wedding dress.
Oh, that wedding dress. It's a showstopper, but not in a happy way.
The stats on it are wild. A 10-foot train, heavy silk taffeta.
And that train was inspired by Consuelo Vanderbilt's real-life wedding. Her train was 60 feet long.
60 feet? That's impossible.
It basically was. And Consuelo Vanderbilt is the ultimate cautionary tale of the dollar princess forced into a miserable marriage by her mother. So by echoing that, the show is screaming at us.
Yeah.
This is a merger, not a marriage.
And I read that the actress, Taissa Farmiga, literally couldn't move between takes. The dress was too heavy.
And that physical weight is the emotional weight. It's the crushing burden of her mother's ambition. She is trapped inside that beautiful, expensive dress. It's a cage.
Wow. That's heavy.
That is.
Okay, let's switch gears to the men. Because usually in period dramas, the guys are just there in black.
Wallpaper, yeah. But the Gilded Age guys have a little more flair.
Let's start with Ward McAllister, the gatekeeper. He's always in that perfect white tie evening suit, but he tweaks it.
He adds those little dandy touches. A paisley silk vest, a gold-topped cane.
Is he just vain? What is that about?
It's about power. It says he knows the rules so well, he literally wrote them, that he's the only one allowed to bend them. It's flex. If anyone else wore that vest, he'd destroy them. But because he wears it, it's the height of fashion.
I see. And then there's Oscar Van Ryn, the male peacock.
Oscar is fascinating. He wears midnight blue tailcoats instead of black, gold cravats, jeweled stick pins.
He's definitely shouting, "Look at me!"
He is. But remember, Oscar has a huge secret. He's living a secret gay life while trying to marry a rich woman.
So the clothes are a
A
distraction.
calculated distraction, a performance. He's hiding in plain sight by being the best-dressed man in the room. If everyone is looking at your diamond pin, they might not look too closely at who you're leaving the party with.
That's brilliant. I never thought of it that way. Okay, now, one of the most important things this show does is depict the black elite of the era.
Yes.
And the costumes for Peggy Scott are so specific.
Incredibly intentional. Walicka-Maimone used color and contrast to show the historical reality of the black elite using fashion for self-expression. Peggy doesn't blend in.
That vibrant printed day dress from season 1 is a perfect example. All these intricate prints, paisley, floral, green, gold, and she pairs it with a bold ascot tie.
It immediately sets her apart from the pastel debutantes. Peggy is a working professional, a writer. The bold prints and structured jackets signal independence, intelligence.
And in season 3, we meet Dr. William Kirkland in Newport.
And he is so dashing.
He wears this ivory summer striped suit with a matching ivory top hat.
That ivory top hat is such a great detail. It's
Yeah.
unconventional for the city, but it's perfect for a summer resort. It shows he knows the leisure codes inside and out.
And when he's walking with Peggy, who's also in an ivory floral dress.
It creates this beautiful visual harmony. It's a cue to the audience. These two are a match. But more than that, showing a black man in a tailored summer suit at leisure in Newport, it corrects the historical record in our popular imagination.
It's showing that black joy and black wealth were a part of the Gilded Age.
Absolutely. Even if history books ignored it.
So when you look at all of these looks together, Berta's armor, Gladys's cage, Peggy's professional prints, what's the big takeaway?
I think you can sum it up by the textures. Old money uses heavy, burnished matte fabrics. They are immovable objects.
Right.
New money, like Bertha, uses shine, feathers, high contrast. They are the unstoppable force. And the younger generation, they're often in whites and pastels caught in the metal.
All stitched together with this incredible craftsmanship. Knowing they used vintage textiles and built custom corsets really changes how you see it.
It does. It's storytelling in every single stitch.
I want to leave everyone with one final thought to think about. We talked about Gladys's wedding dress, that huge, heavy, beautiful thing. If fashion is a weapon for her mother, Bertha, does that make fashion a prison for her daughter?
That is the question, isn't it? Is the silk armor or is it a cage?
Next time you watch, look at how the characters move. See who can move freely and who's literally weighed down by the velvet and the beads. It might tell you more than the dialogue does.
Absolutely.
That's a wrap on our tool of the 1880s. Thanks for diving in with us.
A pleasure, as always.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive. Stay curious.